All right, I have nothing more to add other than thank you all for coming out. We got one more act to go. Y'all have been wonderful. Y'all have been a treat to have here. I love your sense of humor and your reactions to the comedians. You guys have been wonderful to watch. Don't forget about all the upcoming events and shows and the website for the establishment. Make sure that you are in touch with them and just follow them to see what's going on, because the karaoke and the live music on Saturday nights is absolutely phenomenal. It's comforting. It really is nice. Ben Aaron is a so talented guy, and I'm not even getting paid to say that. I said I'm not getting paid to say that, Bars. I'll say it again. Ben Aaron's awesome. I'll take a glass of wine, bread, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our last act for the night. This man has been around a while. He's a part of the reason why we're all here tonight. He helped organize all of this. He's a great person, great guy to have around. Please welcome to the stage, Atul. I have nothing more. I didn't write anything else.
All right, let's give it up for all the other comics. I told you to be Unusual Suspects. Boy, they surpassed my expectations. But, I feel like we crashed your party. But thank you for coming out. Thanks to all of you for coming out. In fact, it's so good you guys came that we're gonna have a raffle, and most of you will get to take home a comedian tonight. Just make sure you feed us and keep us warm, and we'll be fine. But I want to start off by saying Merry Christmas in advance. I've been fighting the war on Christmas as a Hindu for like 40 plus years. I've been saying Merry Christmas. So I don't really think it is a problem. I haven't been arrested yet. But no, I think we don't have to worry about what we say, but I think we have to worry about Christmas being canceled this year because Santa Claus is not a US citizen. And so when he comes to do his work, I think, in his red outfit, they can't tell he's white, right? So they're gonna like arrest him on the rooftop, and they'll be like, "What are you doing here?" I'm just giving gifts, right? I should do my Santa voice. And what do you got in those boxes? I have some presents. Yeah, right. So they're probably gonna abduct him, and because he doesn't have the right paperwork, and I think next year he's gonna have to make toys in El Salvador. So hopefully Christmas isn't canceled next year too. But no, my name's Atul. It's pronounced Atul, but everybody says Atul. So I've heard everything since I was a kid. Like, what kind of a tool are you? You're a real tool, aren't you? And then stupid people think I'm Irish. And say, tool. That's kind of an intelligence test. But no, I mean, I've been called all kind of things, and the crazy thing is that my name is spelled out in the middle of the word congratulations, A-T-U-L. That's a true story, so they'll never forget me, hopefully. But the downside of that is I think I'm in the Epstein files, because I'm sure there's an email from Jeffrey to Trump congratulating him on scoring with a 15-year-old. So technically I'm in the Epstein files, which I'm not proud of. But I am kind of a strange guy too, even though I dress normal and look conservative. I use spreadsheets for everything. Like, do you have any Excel fans here? Yes, right? Like, I use it to solve all of life's problems, except for how to make women more interested in me. I don't know what their problem is, but like, they don't call me Excel Patel for nothing. I got mad Excel skills, just so you know, but I will not be helping after the show. I got tired of that. But no, my name actually means beyond compare, which is kind of crazy, right? And I have a complex about being unique. And it even spills over to like, I don't like things that everybody else likes intentionally. Like, I'll try to pick different things. And I was like Saabs, those cars, Saabs, that have the sloping rear hatch, right? Because you know what they say, once you go hatch, you never go back. You all know that joke? Oh my, whatever. That joke deserves more credit than that. But no, I mean, comedians are supposed to be very self-deprecating, right? We're supposed to make fun of ourselves. But I'm gonna flex like a rapper. because I was actually pretty smart. Like I got good grades in high school, and I did better in college. Like I made dean's list every quarter, which is kind of crazy. I shocked myself. But like it was a burden because, you know, when other people do bad at a test, other students and friends, they'd ask, what'd you get on your test? And then you have to tell them you did well. And then you're like the asshole. So it was like, it's kind of a burden. You become a burden on your friendships with people. That was a bad joke, but that's all right. I'm trying new stuff here and there. But no, I find as I get older, I started using bigger words, like just out of the blue. Anybody else do that? Like just where the hell did that word come from? Like evoke and I don't know. I can't think of any of the words right now. I've had some beers, but it's kind of annoying. And the worst one is I properly use the S apostrophe for possessives. And like when you do that, people think there's something wrong with you. How does that work? It's kind of sad and funny. All right, I'll tell you my spelling bee story. So I am Indian American and I am a very good speller. That's my last flex for the night. But actually I was in spelling bees in school. In 7th grade, I crashed out because I got the word technique and I spelled it wrong because my dad's stereo was a Techniques brand stereo. Spelled ICS, and the real word is spelled IQUES. But then in 8th grade, I came back and I made it to the regionals of the Chronicle Telegram regional spelling type bee. And there I was with like 50 other kids on stage. And I was sitting near the front. There were hundreds of people, well, maybe 150 in the audience. And I kept getting words and spelling them right, just knocking them out like I was a dictionary or something. And then before I knew it, it was just me and one other girl from a competing suburb called Bay Village. There's a suburb of Cleveland. And I got the word kerseymere. Does anybody know what that is? Oh, does anybody? It's a type of fabric. Anybody want to try to spell it? Okay. You guys are Indian. You guys want to try to spell it? Oh shit! You're not making me proud. That's all right. But no, so I spelled it CURSEYMERE, and I heard the bell, which meant I was wrong, and I was like, shit. Because the actual spelling is KERSEYMERE. And then the other girl she spelled it right, and then she got the word pasque flower, which is easy. Everybody knows how to spell pasque flower, right? Just kidding. So then she won the competition, I lost. She won a set of encyclopedias. These guys probably don't know what the hell encyclopedias are. So she got those, and I won a TV, which I used through college, like a little TV, very educational. So that was kind of funny. And she had to study more for the national competition, right? My middle school actually still congratulated me, and they had a little thing in the ceremony with a plaque that said, Atul Patel, outstanding representation, North Ulster Middle School. They spelled it wrong on the plaque, which is a true story. Oh, so that was funny. And what's really interesting is that was 1985. I'm aging myself, but that was the first year Indian kids started winning spelling bees. And it could have been me if I didn't play so many video games on our Commodore 64, like Karate Champ and Summer Games. You guys know? Yeah. That's like much better than spelling practice, let's put it that way. But no, I'm getting older because I'm still alive. And I'm running out of time to get older, let's put it that way. Here's a little aside. It's kind of funny about aging because like they say 50 is the new 40, right? And 40 is the new 30. Well, that makes 10 the new time to cut the umbilical cord. And I think that's kind of disgusting. I don't recommend it. But no, I turned 54 recently, and it's kind of sad. I didn't really celebrate, right? Because I'm getting tired of having birthdays. But like not that tired. Like I still want more birthdays in the foreseeable future. You guys don't like that. So I'm not suicidal. That's the moral of that story. But no. And as I get older, I gain weight, right? Just the other week, I gained 5 pounds because I ate a 5-pound bag of M&Ms. I don't recommend that either, because it's depressing getting older. But no, as I get older, like I get different sports injuries. Like I played soccer my whole life, and even I find new creative ways to injure myself, like scooching my chair. I tweaked my back. True story. Just yesterday, I turned the door handle of my apartment and I felt a twinge, like a sharp pain through my wrists. So I'm very creative that way. But the good thing is the pain of each new injury distracts you from the pain of prior injuries. So it's a great strategy. You guys should try that. Works out pretty well. But no, sometimes, I don't even want to wake up. Like knowing that I get to drink coffee motivates me to wake up sometimes. I'm that much of an addict. I'm going to sell mugs that say I wake up for coffee. Would you guys buy those? All right, good. Yeah, coffee rules. It's kind of an addiction, but like I use it when I drive too, right? But sometimes it doesn't work because I'm still tired. So I figured out a way to stop from falling asleep while I drive. I text. And I know I shouldn't, like it's not safe, but I try to be careful about it. I don't think it's the texting that's going to kill me, though. I think it's the spelling and grammar texting that's going to kill me. You know what I'm talking about. Are you a librarian? Oh, okay, good. Thank God, because you don't know what you would have encountered from Whitney there.
He's definitely a fun hunter.
But I'm vegetarian because I'm philosophically allergic to meat. That's how I put it. That's kind of another nerdy joke for you guys. But no, it's kind of rough because you always have to explain to people, why you don't eat meat. And all the anti-vegetarians and vegans give me flack for being vegetarian. The anti-vegetarians are the worst because they say things like, what do you eat? Lettuce? Or how do you get your protein? And then when I go to restaurants and I get a veggie burger and they give you vegetables on the side. Sorry, I'm not on a diet. Just because I'm vegetarian, I want fries with that, damn it. And here's the other thing that people don't think about, but if you go to a restaurant and the waitress tells you all the specials, and it's like lobster bisque and whatever, shrimp, lamb, whatever, and I don't know whether to stop her or let her go on with all the meat dishes that I'm not going to order. I don't want her to be disappointed because I'm going to order something that's probably a lot cheaper because there's really not that much gourmet vegetarian food, like free-range tofu or anything like that. Let's see. But no, it's hard to avoid meat sometimes, I traveled to Japan a while ago and I got potato chips and it had shrimp paste in it. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to use Google Translate to figure that one out. But I could tell it tasted horrible. And it's even a problem in America, right? I mean, who came up with clamato? Clam juice and tomato juice combined? I mean, you might as well combine chicken and apple juice and call it chackle. Or beef and grape juice and call it grape. I just messed that up. It's supposed to be chicken and grape juice and beef and apple juice, but whatever, you get the idea.
You're doing great.
It's just not good to mix meat with fruits and vegetables like that in a liquid form. I think that's bad. But no, people make fun of vegetarians because they think we're all skinny and weak. But I'm apparently not. I may be weak, but I'm not skinny. But my best friend, he's vegetarian, and he can kick all your asses. He's an elephant, so we only get to see him at the zoo. But still, you get the idea. Some people have dogs as best friends. I have elephants as best friends. I think that's fair, especially because I'm of Indian descent. I think that's reasonable, right? Yeah. But I'm not a big fan of hunting. I don't think it's fair that I have a weapon and the animal doesn't. Because it's just not right? So I think hand-to-hoof combat would be fair. I just don't like my odds. But if I did have to hunt deer, I definitely do catch and release. So yeah, mixed fishing and hunting there. You got that? I'm gonna go until these guys like just get tired of laughing or don't laugh at me anymore or tell me to go home. Because I didn't know they would get so crazy. But parents can't live with them, don't exist without them. Am I right? Everybody else got parents? Anybody? Anybody? Sweet, all of you. I love it. Well, my mom is great. She's really sweet and nice, and we call her Micro Mom because she's 4'9". I'm serious, and she can cook anything in the microwave. Baked potatoes, rice, scrambled eggs. She can do it all. But no, she's really obsessed with food. It's kind of an Indian mom thing. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? She's just obsessed with feeding us, and she keeps cooking and cooking. I don't want her to keep cooking because she's getting older now, right? But it's gotten to the point that when I visit her, before I go, she asks me how much, what do you want me to make you before you come over? And then while I'm there, it's like, what do you want me to make you while you're here? Don't go out to eat, you need to eat fresh food. And then before I go back, it's like, what do you want me to make you to take back with you? And to the point I have a separate suitcase when I fly. I'm not even joking. I'm like, Mom, I can't eat all this food. She just doesn't get it. I said, Mom, it's my stomach, my choice. And she doesn't go for that. And so because she's a mom, Indian mom, and she loves feeding people, like containers are like gold to her, right? I think she only has lids for like 30% of them. But she prays every day for the safe return of the other 70% of lids. I can tell. It's in Sanskrit, but I can still tell. That's how she prays. That's how she rolls, feeding us. But now she's getting a little. She's older, but she's like 95% mentally sharp, even at age 84, which is impressive because she eats very healthy. She tries to healthify everything that we eat. She'll put like flaxseed powder in her bread, or like oat flour instead of wheat flour. And she has this saffron addiction. You know what saffron is? It's an $800 a pound habit. She puts it in her smoothies. She puts it in her tea. I just thought I'd vent a little because I'm worried about her retirement savings. That's not true. She's fine. I do her financial planning, by the way, because I'm smart. But no, she keeps giving me advice on everything. Like, she gives me advice on dating, and she's never dated. My mom and dad got arranged, you know? And she's giving me advice on stand-up comedy now. I'm like, Mom, you haven't done stand-up comedy, and the jokes in Hindi just don't translate very well. She sends me so much shit on WhatsApp, it's crazy. Recipes, jokes, all that crap. But I love her, she's great, overall. And now she has this thing where she overuses love you, to people, like friends or acquaintances. And it's a little cringy sometimes because it's somebody that like she barely knows, and she'll be like, love you. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you should have said that to that guy. That's a new one, whatever, I'm just riffing. Because this is like unhinged, unusual suspects comedy. So, I'm gonna get a little controversial now though. I was raised Hindu, right? Because I'm from India. And Jesus loves me, but I don't love Jesus. And I'm not sure how to tell him. Like, I can't pray, But don't worry, to the Christians in the crowd. I do like Jesus. I think he's a pretty cool guy. And we bond over the fact that we share the same complexion. So it's kind of nice. He's not a big fan of ice, by the way. Should I drop that? But speaking of former Jews, you guys get that? Speaking of former Jews, Hindus are like the Jews of the East because everything's about food, family, guilt for why you didn't become a lawyer or a doctor. That's just kind of how things are that are in common between our communities. The big difference, though, between being Jewish and being Hindu is that us Hindu boys get to keep our foreskins. You weren't expecting a foreskin joke, were you? But it's true. I guess we're more European that way. People here don't even know that, but Europeans don't do that either. Even Christian Europeans. I'm up here educating too, guys. This is free. But I'm not a big fan of conversion. Like, I think it's kind of funny when somebody tries to convert you because they're basically saying everything your parents and your ancestors believe, well, that's all bullshit crap. It's like so disrespectful. Like, who the hell do you think you are? But whatever, that's my moral of the story lesson kind of thing. I'm not a big believer in that. Believe whatever the hell you want. That's what I say. Or whatever the heaven you want. So, I mean, technically I'm a heathen, right? But I'll have you know, we come from a long line of fine, upstanding heathens. And my mom is like the sweetest, nicest heathen you'll ever meet. And if you come over our house, she'll feed you very well. So we already established that. But no, I had this funny story when I was a kid. My mom would babysit these two other white Christian kids in the neighborhood. And I, for some reason, said, "Oh my God," to something. And they were so upset and they were offended and they tattletaled on me. They told my mom that I said, "Oh my God." And my mom's like, "What's the big deal?" He just said, "Oh my God." Because we say that all the time. There's too much education and not enough jokes in this set. All right, I'll go to, these are like funny quotes that I thought of, things I've noticed. I used to have a blog called Things I've Noticed. And so I have some things that are kind of interesting observations. So, a broken hand sanitizer dispenser is a COVID trap. And being late is wasting other people's time, but being early is wasting your own time. Yes, yeah, these are words of wisdom. And forgetting is just remembering a bit too late. She likes that. That's good. I have a fan for that quote. Thank you. There are no stupid questions, only questions that make you look stupid. I learned that at work a long time ago. Just shut up. Just wait for the answer to come up in the next meeting. Once you lose your mind, you can't find anything. If murderers were really patient, they wouldn't have to kill anybody. Just need to teach all the murderers that one. Or teach them patience. And there's a lot of sexist words out there, like fireman, postman, right? But I think the worst one of all is woman. Like, it should really be whoa woman. I got like one fan per joke. I love this. This is great. And then I've learned, I think it's mostly because I live in Minnesota, but maybe is a 99% chance of no. Thank you. Should I end on that, or should I give you my etiquette and culture jokes? You want me to go like 5 more minutes? All right, cool. Yes. No, but there's a lot of things in life that like are hard to understand what to do, like etiquette-wise, right? Like when you're a guy and you go to the urinal and you're standing next to another guy who's also peeing, it's hard to know what to say to the guy. And I've realized that the only appropriate thing to say is nice shoes. You definitely don't want to say, "What religion are you again?" I did that once, didn't work out so well. See, she likes that. See, this is great. Peppering of fans, I love it. But no, and it's really weird when you see somebody you haven't seen in a while. People, what do they always say? "You look great." Why is it always about looks? It's so superficial. It should really be like, "Susie, you still seem to have a pleasant demeanor and personality so far." I think that's more appropriate. Are you gonna try that? Please try that. Spread the word. All right, thank you. And the other one is like, if you meet somebody new, right, you're expected to say, "Nice to meet you." I think we should really say, "We'll see if I regret meeting you." I'm also not a big fan of swimming. I prefer things done on land. Like, why would I want to do an activity where I have to time my breaths depending on what other parts of my body are doing at any given moment? It's kind of dumb, right? Like, we're not meant to swim. Like, we don't have gills or blowholes. Right? I just always want to do a joke with the word blowhole in it. So thank you for being a part of that. I appreciate it. I don't care if it's not funny. No, but I snore, and I admit it. And, I get a lot of flack for it from people. Like, I do it on purpose, whatever. And I had an ex-girlfriend that kept waking me up to stop me from snoring. And I'm like, what are you doing? One of us has to get some sleep. Well, that reminds me of another joke. If you don't hear something a woman says, or you aren't listening, here's a word of advice. Just say, honey, you say so many interesting things. How can I possibly remember them all? That won't work on these ladies, but other ladies, maybe. No, people are still having those gender reveal parties, which I think is kind of dumb. I mean, I like babies, but come on, just another baby. He likes that one. There we go. I love it. I got jokes for everybody here. But no, I mean, I think it's stupid because babies invented the gender reveal party 200,000 years ago. And here's how it works. They grow in the womb, right? And then they come out of the womb unannounced with their genitals uncovered. And surprise, they're either a male or a female. And it's great because nothing catches on fire or explodes, except maybe the placenta. I don't know how that works. I'm just an uncle, not a dad. I was not there. I was not involved. What's crazy is my nephew has a son now, and this baby looks so much like him, and my nephew looks so much like me, and it's crazy. Well, whatever. I still have nothing to do with that either. All right, I got 2 more left. That's it, and then we can all go home. But no, it's so funny how people who want to have a baby, they have to plan out trying to conceive a baby like it's a part-time job, right? Like scheduling appointments and all that. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it. And when they're finally pregnant, then they have a baby shower, which is kind of this holy family event. But there's a lot of dirty action that happened in the bedroom that led to that baby bundle of joy being formed, right? So I kind of don't get that. It's a little bit of a disconnect for me. Again, I'm not a dad. I'll end with this. Oh no, I got 2 more. Sorry. So, I think there should be movie ratings for movies, so that you know which ones to watch with your parents. You know what I'm talking about? So I think there should be one that's E for embarrassing, and then there's BL for better leave the room. And then there's NT8, which means if you watch this movie, you won't be able to look your mom or dad in the eye for 8 hours. So that's another recommendation for society. You just hope your parents learn something from those movies, though. And I'll end on this. It's kind of sad, but it's funny. So I was on a flight from Tokyo to Minneapolis a long time ago when I had a day job. It was great. And I was sitting next to this guy. He was like a 24-year-old kid, and he kept falling asleep and letting his head flop over onto my shoulder. He just couldn't control it. And it happened at one point for many minutes. And I was like, what do I do? I don't want to wake him up because it might get mad that I woke him up. But then I don't want him to think that I didn't wake him up because that might make him mad as well, that I didn't wake him up from him having his shoulder on my head. And I definitely didn't want him to think I enjoyed it. But I did, because he was like the son I never had. And that was a touching moment. And he's in my will now, so. All right, that's it. My name is Atul Patel. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. And thanks to all the comedians and Farzana and everybody here at the restaurant. You guys have been amazing. Stay warm.
Woo! Give it up again, Atul. Atul. Yay! Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Yay! That's awesome, you guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up tonight with one final word. This is bad, I know, I'm sorry. Sorry in advance. So, I didn't really understand sacrilegion